This your boy Daniel Lyonston Evans, and you are live inside the den, and the next episode starts right now.
What a time, what a time, what a time for a black man to be alive. Living in the struggle while trying to keep our composure. Killing each other while trying to look for that exposure. We all just want to make it, we should do it as a team. Build each other up and they can't even say a thing. Me and all my brothers just stuck together like glue. It's us against the world and you know what we finna do. Woo! Pop a bottle, we in here for celebration. We just wanna be the leaders that's pushing the generation. Take a seat and find your zone for the topic of conversation. Find a way for a positive revelation. Now this really ain't the time to be thinking about yourself, cause we just a bunch of hustlers that's trying to give out some help. We turn the cubs into lions inside of the den. Come and join the brotherhood if you really just wanna win, ayy.
We hope you all had a great holiday. This is the brand new year, 2022. What you gonna do? We have been going through a lot, you know what I'm saying, last year, and it's glad to finally be in the new year. I'm so super excited about what the new year has to offer. Already we're doing some great things. And to my left here, you know, special guest we got here on the show once again, Mr. Caleb Vigil, and as always, hold on. Got my co-host, Mini-Me here. Say hello. This is my true yes man. He says yes to everything I say. Sometimes he say no, but anyway. But yeah, man, we been up here vibing, man. Me and Caleb, and this is, I don't know how many times you been on the show, Caleb.
Twice.
A bit more than that, huh?
Well, in between live and pre-recorded a couple times.
Okay. Well, I mean, I know you did twice in season 1.
Yeah.
This is your first episode of season 2, right? Yeah. So this is my my technician here that keeps everything in line, and then I have my guy, Mr. Antonio, here on the couch with us. We just been vibing out, man, about the new year, man, and one of the things that's going on right now, this is current events we're talking about, is the 1-year anniversary to the Capitol riots. A year ago today, they stormed the Capitol and did all that stuff under the leadership of Donald Trump.
Oh, hell no!
Everybody will be talking about it. We might as well get our point of view across so we can get our take on it, and then we'll move on. What are your thoughts, brother, on the Capitol riots and all that good stuff that, well, I ain't gonna say good stuff, but all the stuff that happened last year? What are your thoughts on the year anniversary to that event taking place?
Well, yeah.
You gotta go too deep, you know what I mean? But just give us something, you know.
I'm not the type of person to really take sides on Democrat, Republican, government right, government wrong, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's I mean, it has been building up to that point where just so much unrest, so much difference between races, and I mean it's even been prophesized that towards the last of the days, per se, there's going to be increased civil unrest, increased war and clashing between people of different colors, same race, different race, governments going against religion, religion going against governments. It's coming to a point where everything is going to implode.
I agree that we are living in the last days, and some of the things that's going on right now is just that reminder that we have to be prepared at all times.
Yeah.
But with all that going on right now, man, it's sad. And I really, don't want to harp on the negativity too much, but we're still going through a tough time. We're still going through a tough time with the pandemic. It's still, I mean, even though it feels like we was at the end, and then they come out with another variant of the pandemic, and don't want to talk too much about it because we done gave it too much attention already. But with these recent deaths, man, we done had a lot of deaths over just the last few weeks, man, and then the whole year last year. But it is, I think that everybody just needs a deep breath. Just needs to take a, I don't know, man. I know that everybody is exhausted mentally. Everybody is emotionally exhausted right now, man. But then I pray for the country. I pray for everybody that we able to turn this thing around, man, in 2022 and achieve our goals. I mean, do you have any particular like goals set for this year? Because I know personally that when I write my goals down, I'm 85% more likely to achieve those goals when I write them down versus when I don't write them down. So I got a couple of goals set for myself. What do you want to make happen in 2022 that you didn't do last year? And what is your plan of attack to get that done? Because that's what we, it starts in the mind, and then you have to speak into the atmosphere and then make it happen. So what are some of the things that we're looking for Caleb this year in 2022?
Well, for this year, you kind of always hope for a better year each time. Some goals you make, some goals you don't make. But this year, I'm really hoping that I'm successful in the new business venture with the cafe, so I can see my wife, I wouldn't say retire, but let her ease back a bit, and be able to provide more in the sense so she doesn't have to work because she feels like she has to take care of certain things, it's and she's a really hard worker. She sacrifices a lot, even in her health conditions that she has. Talked about it before. I told you off camera, with her sciatic nerve issues and her losing her sensation in her arms and things like that. Mm-hmm. And yet she still works, as housekeeping, which is like one of the worst. I can't say it's one of the lesser jobs. It's the more hard on your body type of job, because you're constantly in motion. Certain parts of your body you're constantly abusing, and it hurts every time I see her suffer, in that sense, and that I just wish I can do more than what I'm already doing to make her feel more at ease.
How has that changed, you as a person? How has that changed your thoughts and your process, and how has your wife's sickness, either made you a better person, or how has it challenged you in the sense of, being her protector?
Well, it's certain things happen, where you kind of start to open your eyes a bit more, and realize that it doesn't matter how tough you are or how tough you can be, or if you try to be reserved with your emotions, it's one way or another, it's going to come out of you, and it's either going to be in a good way or in a bad way. And the worst is when it comes out in a bad way and you kind of direct that towards the person who you're supposed to be helping, not hurting.
Have you done that before?
Not hurting in the sense of like,
Well, just lashing out and stuff like that.
No, not lash out. I just kind of, things can get stressful. And, you obviously, you have discussions, arguments. She might raise her voice, or you might raise your voice, but it's not like we're physically lashing out at each other, things like that.
Not like y'all domestic or nothing like that.
Yeah, definitely not domestic. Although she can put up a fight if it does go that way.
That's funny, man, because this guy here, I don't see you as a aggressive person at all. Anytime I've had any type of conversation with other people, and I ask you for your take on it, you always take the lesser role. Well, you gotta do what's right, and you always go to the word, you always go to the scripture, and so I don't really see you as being dinner ready for you, or whether you have to go home and cook dinner. Like, what is the role in your house? Do you have to go home and cook after you've been out all day, or does she still try? And I'm gonna tell you another story. This man told me I actually was moving into my other office in Clayton, and I said I might need you to help me, move this stuff. Matter of fact, the couch you're sitting on right now, I needed some help moving the furniture up the stairs. And I called Caleb, because Caleb lived like across the tracks, like literally like less than 5 minutes from the office. So I'm like, if I need to call somebody, he's going to be the first one available because he's the closest, right? Yeah. Caleb tells me, can I say, just make sure you're available. Well, I might not be much help because he said, I can always call my wife to help. I ain't finna help. I ain't finna let nobody's wife come in and help me, man. I need somebody. I need some muscles, a man. Yeah. He said, well, she's kind of like, she's stronger than me right now. She's kind of does all. I'm like, what? Your wife stronger than me? So Caleb is very, very reserved when it comes down to that, man. Yeah. And I know that he appreciates his wife's strength. So whenever his strength is, down and out, I can only imagine that you would have to do the role reversal, and you probably have to go home, and after you done been out, and have to go home and have to take care of her and have to cook for her and get that's about right now. And I know it probably hurts your heart to have to see her going through that, but one of those things. Man, he was saying that when he gets home, he got food ready for him, everything, and all that kind of stuff waiting on him every time he gets to the house and stuff like that. And as me and in America, you have to have that balance of being able to provide, but also at the same time having somebody to step in and help take care of you, because whenever the man is down, it seems like it just seems like the world doesn't turn as smooth whenever the man is not around. And I've just been dealing with some mental health issues, for myself in the past, and then some people in my family dealing with some mental health issues. And it seems like when you're in that place of where you just helpless, and there's nobody there to do nothing for you or help you out, it really feels like that the whole world is shut down because you can't do what you need to do. And I definitely understand how that can feel when you're trying to be the best you can be. But it happens, but I think you're a great guy, man. I hold you to a high standard because of who you are, and I've never seen you get too far on those sides. You just kind of stay middle. How do you maintain your sense of calmness when the whole world around you is falling apart? How do you do that?
That's a difficult question to answer. know, sometimes it doesn't even. There are times where it doesn't work in your favor, you know, and I'll be honest, you know, it's my wife sometimes complains, or she gets I wouldn't say upset, but she gets maybe frustrated because sometimes I maintain that, you know, that level during situations where she's, you know, kind of jumping off the walls, or and you know, I've tried to, you know, explain things to her and try to, you know, kind of help her understand how I can maintain that level, but yet still demonstrate that I care or I'm worried about the situation. I'm just, you know, people misinterpret my suppression of emotions for not caring.
That's not just you though, man. I think that's all men in America. We don't operate in emotion. We operate in logic. And I think that women operate in emotion, and, you know, women think with their emotions. So it's just because you haven't said anything about it, they think you don't care, when we just processing the situation a little bit different. They process verbally, we process internally. And when we get a solution, you know, it might take us a couple of days, but when we get a solution, then we speak on it versus speaking on it first without thinking about it. You know, women speak first, think later. Men think first and speak later. And I don't think that's just, I think that's like one of the things that I think men struggle with. And women accuse men of not having emotions when it's really emotions, because we process things a little bit different. And so not saying anything can be easily translated in, oh, he don't even care, or, you know, you're not worried about it. And, you know, if you have ever had any, you know, sleepless nights concerning a situation, you know, that's what makes you a man, to be able to process that thing. And when you speak is when you're ready to make that decision, because you done thought about it, you know, process it, and that's all it is. And how old are you again?
I'm just turning 34 in
34 years
days.
old. 34 years old in 10 days. And then my man, you what? 28 years old. And then so I just crossed the 40 threshold a year ago, and so we have 3 different age groups of men here, and I think that we can consistently say that the common denominator in these situations is just the way that men process their emotions versus a woman. And it's just one of those things, you know. I did it with my brother, you know, he got some things, and me and him were so similar, so I can talk about his situation and I can put it in there and make my situation relevant, because the way we process things is the same. Like, you go home, I mean, you go away from work all day, you come home, you expect certain things to happen, and when that doesn't happen, you equate that to be, you know, it's just, we process things different, you know what I mean? So, but I mean, I think it's another thing that I really think that, you know, when you're dealing with those emotions and the kind of how mellow you are. I often tell people that when you're dealing with situations, whether you have a business and you're dealing with employees, you got a bunch of kids. You don't have any kids, right?
No.
You got your pets, right?
Yeah.
So they're
I've got 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they're
You're dealing with pet lovers.
they just don't talk, but you know.
You're dealing with pet lovers. You got to be careful not to call a pet lover animal dogs and stuff. And that's their kids. So I know some people that'll fight you over calling their animals, you know, animals. You know, this is my baby, fur babies, or whatever they want to call them. But you're dealing with people that has different emotions of people, and when you process your anger differently, I often tell people that you have the choice to become a thermostat or a thermometer. and you gotta know the difference between the two. A thermostat does what?
Control the temperature.
The thermostat controls the temperature, but a thermometer does what?
Just check it.
Tell you the temperature. So when you go into an environment, if it's hostile, you can either be the thermostat or you can be the thermometer. And I believe that a lot of people choose to be the thermometer because they haven't mastered how to be that thermostat. When you go into a hostile environment, the environment should come down to your temperature when you go into a room.
Well, the biggest thing that people don't master is cruelty. And cruelty is very much necessary, because if you don't know how to be a beast, you don't know how to be mean, if you don't know how to, then you don't know how to handle certain situations. Not saying you have to be cruel, but you have to know how to be cruel, because if you never teach yourself how to tame that, because you might have anger lying inside of you that you can't tame because you never tapped into it. So when you tap into it, that's why it's always good to learn yourself, because when you tap into it, then you know, okay, I know I can be this beast. I don't ever want to see that person. Keep him locked away. But if I need to bring him out, I can control him, versus him just coming out and he's not controllable.
Well, you have to know your weakness. Like I said, you got to know yourself. You have to know what your limits and what your what sets you off. And you'll find people getting in a situation where they say, "Hey, you want me to go down that road? I'm trying to tell you." And they talking themselves out of that situation, but at the same time, let you know that I need to get out of the situation because I'm headed down a road that once the Hulk turns to the Hulk, or what's the Hulk name?
Bruce Banner, not Bruce Banner. David Banner. No, David Banner is the dad.
David Banner.
No. David Banner is the dad. It's Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
So you did it with Bruce Banner. Fact check. They looked that up.
I'm about to fact check it right now.
Yeah, it's Bruce Banner.
It's Bruce Banner. Yeah.
Okay, so
I ain't not watching the whole
we got a comic book fanatic here. Is that Marvel or
it's Marvel?
It's Marvel. See, I don't know nothing about all that.
Yeah.
DC, Marvel, and all that. So you got the Bruce Banner talking to you, and it's always a warning sign before the Hulk comes.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you that warning. Hey, I'm about to turn into the Hulk. And you just got to know. But then you also got to know who you are, and you got to let certain people know. If you have somebody that's your armor bearer, or you have somebody that's your right hand man, that person needs to know.
Oh shoot!
That trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
the Hulk gets triggered as well.
Yeah,
He doesn't always necessarily warn you either, because there's certain situations that'll come up it's kind of instant, where you're reacting by instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, there's a scene where Bruce Banner tries to shoot himself, and the second he shoots himself, he turns into the Hulk, because the Hulk in his mind, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna turn into the Hulk, and boom, that's it.
The bullet blows up.
Well, it pretty much just kind of crushes. Yeah. So,
but that's still knowing. You know, you gotta tell. You have to.
Because sometimes you do get into those situations where someone will hit you a certain way. They'll press a certain button, and that button is kind of takes you from here to here.
0 to 100.
Well, that beast that you're trying to keep caged, he has to be able to come out to save your life.
Yeah.
Or your family's life.
Exactly.
It's nothing worse than having a beast locked up in you and he just won't come out.
He won't
about
come
to
out.
die. And you're like, I can't. If he come out, he ain't gonna just do good. He gonna do good and bad. So you might as well just keep him in. But you have to know.
You gotta know how to tame him.
You gotta know who you are, know your limitations, because there are people that will push you. But having the right hand to kind of help shield some of that.
You gotta think about it, man. You got people out here in this world that don't care about their own life. They don't care. So therefore, they're gonna push you until you keep going and going and going, and it don't matter to them. Even if you beat them up, even if you shoot them, whatever. If a person ain't got nothing to lose, that's the person I'm most afraid of.
Yeah,
a person who ain't got nothing to lose.
Somebody who ain't got nothing to lose, man. They would go down
because they'll take you down with them. I mean, because they going down anyway.
Yeah.
So if I'm going down,
I'm take somebody with.
But you also have to look at that in business as well.
mm-hmm.
Somebody who ain't got nothing to lose will take your business down because they don't care. They don't have anything. So you have to be careful who you get into friendships with. You have to be careful who you get into relationships with because some people don't have anything to lose.
Yeah.
And they don't mind getting you jammed up in a situation. And you have to think about your kids, your business, relationship, your reputation, and that person just saying, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? So you really have to, and I know you don't have kids yet, but when you do have kids, you know, reputation of the kind of dad you are may be on the line. So
yeah.
you might not be able to go to certain places. You know, I got friends, I got single friends, I have married friends, I have minister friends, I have pastor friends, and I know who to go to if I want to hear the right thing. I want to hear a bunch of bull crap, some BS. Well, I got a friend that I can just talk BS with all day, and then something done. We will stroke each other's egos and everything, and like, yeah, you know. Then I got a person that if I want to like get the real deal, and something done would call me out of my bull crap. Like
That's
you know what I mean?
That's ash for me, bro. That's ash bell for me.
But man, you got to have that one person.
I love it, bro, because it's like he'll call me out. Like if it's been like even a day, and I haven't posted any content, or if I send him no content, he like, bro, what you doing, bro? You BSing. Like I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. You BSing.
But you got to have that one person that challenges you to do better, and you can't hire from.
Because it's all in love, bro.
But then you got to have that other friend that kind of like this guy here.
Hey, yes, man.
Yes, man. Sometimes I need to be validated, and I need somebody to tell me what I want to hear, because that's the thing that's going to get me to really like, you know, it has a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Not for the handicap or the crippling. When you on your BS,
yeah.
The person that encourages you when you know that you know need to be encouraged, it has its place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely wouldn't ask my yes man a bunch of rhetorical questions that I need to get some real good answers from, because he gonna just tell me what I want to hear.
Exactly.
I know who to call to get the right response.
You know who to call, when to call.
Yeah. So you just gotta have these accountability partners, but as a man though in America, you know, you just always have to, you know, you gotta know who you are, where you're going at all times.
That's important.
And so I got another story. This is my third holy story. I think I told one last year on season 1. And I call it favor, because you know when you're doing a certain thing, whether your intentions are bad, sometimes you know God will still favor you because He has His hand. You have a mission. You know what I mean? So I left here last Friday, which was New Year's Eve.
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Bill collector been calling my phone all day. I gotta go make a payment before they close. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be closed on Monday, because Monday's like a holiday as well. And so I didn't want to go into the new year with these folks harassing my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave the office on Friday, and I go to get some cash or something so I can pay this bill. It is, they close at 5. In my mind, I'm thinking they close at 5 o'clock. I remember them telling me that on holiday hours or this such.
Right.
It was 4:50 when I left here. And so I gotta get down.
You on 2 wheels, bro.
I gotta get down there quick.
Yeah, you on 2 wheels.
So I'm driving and I'm like hitting it. I'm hitting it. But the thing about it, I'm in my Challenger. People always think that when you're driving a Challenger, you always gotta be speeding and stuff like that. But today I was actually speeding.
Yeah, right.
And I know I was speeding.
You was on 2 wheels.
Yeah. I was going 55 and 35. Right down there by Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Going like right up the road here.
Yeah.
I know these get behind me, man, and I know the rules of law enforcement. If you get out your car, legally they can't pull you over if you get out the car. Your car is parked, you get out the car, they can't apprehend you because, you know, it's just one of those things. And it's very fine how you do it.
Fine line to it,
how you do it. So he put his lights on me. But you know, he gotta get up, he gotta catch up to me in order for me to you know I'm being stopped.
Yeah.
I got a choice to make at this point. To either pull over on the side of the road or continue going into a parking lot to where I'm going. I'm going to pay a bill. And you keep saying it, so you know what I'm doing. I'm going to pay a bill. So I say, all right, I'm going to ride this dude into the parking lot. I may just pull up to the front door of the building so I can get out the car and whatever. And then at this point, the pursuit, you know. So I change my mind. I pull up into the parking lot. And he pulled it behind me. Pulled into my spot. Now, I'm going to pause the story right here. Because I got a choice to make. I've seen plenty of movies where you jump out the car and then it's like, oh, he got a gun or whatever, blah, 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 and it's open season for, you know. How do I really want this story to end? It's Friday, New Year's Eve, but I have a mission. My mission is to do what? Pay this bill, man. That's all I wanted to do. So I'm finna get a speeding ticket because I'm going to speed to pay a freaking bill. So that's the story. I pull up, I put my car at park, I take my seatbelt off, I pull my license, always happen at the same time. Put my license off, he's getting out the car, he's walking up, I roll the window down, hands him my license and say, sir, I come to pay this bill. Let me go run and pay this bill real quick. And when I come back, I'm all yours. But let me, because they get ready to close for the weekend and holidays, let me pay this bill. He was so confused. He was like, okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. I left my car running. Window down, gave him my license. And I got out the car. And I briskly walked to the facility to pay this bill. He goes back to his car with my license. He's sitting down, and I can only imagine what kind of conversation he had. I don't even know the protocol for if he's allowed to let me, because I could have went in the building and did what?
Yeah.
I could have went in the building, came out with a gun. I could have went in the building and been on the other side of the building and been like, I don't know who. It could have been a stolen car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the car to police. This story could have panned out more than one way, right? So I'm going to the building and tell the lady, look, I got here fast as I could. What time are y'all close? She said 5:30. I'm like, what? 5:30? So I done down there got a ticket. Trying to come down here, y'all been blowing my phone up all day, trying to catch y'all before y'all leave. She was like, oh wow. I said, yeah, that guy, that's for me. That's my ticket waiting on me when I get down paying the bill. He just tells me, well, our computers are down right now, so we can take the payment, but we got to write you out a receipt. We can't get you a regular receipt.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, but give me my receipt. Make sure I keep my receipt. I'm not going back out there without the receipt. She said, oh wow, I'm so sorry. Yeah, but it's 5:30. I thought that was a holiday hours. Yeah, we're going to be closed on Monday, but we open today, regular schedule. I said, okay. So pay my bill, get my ticket. I'm like, let me go get this ticket. Because I told the guy I was going to come back. Get my receipt. I'll go out, toward my car. No, he's still out there.
Okay.
But as I get closer, I see him, doing what he's doing. He's getting out the car. I get back in my car, put my seatbelt back on, and I reach my glove box for my registration because he got my license already.
Yeah.
And as he walking up to hand me my license, I give him my registration. he was like, so what's this lion pride thing all about? And I'm like, sir, I'm glad you asked. I said, the Lions Pride is my business. I have the #1 U-Haul dealership in Smithfield. Where's that at? You know, down there across from Carol's Pharmacy and right next to Food Line. Yeah. I said, yeah, that's me. So what do y'all do? I said, we do a little bit of everything. We do the U-Hauls. You know, I do financial services, life insurance, credit repair, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, I said, how do you know about the Lions Pride? So I'm thinking, I said, okay, so my tag says Lions Pride.
Right.
Yeah, your car's got the logo.
My car got Lions Pride, but then my chain got it. So I know which one of those things he's picked up on that even asked him about the Lions Pride. And he said, that's very interesting. And so for 1/2 a second, I almost like solicited him on my business. Like, hey, you need something,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Always thinking about right there, right? Hey, you need something, come in there, I'll hook you up, you know.
You need the mic? Let me
So look, he gave me my license back and said, I'm gonna give you a warning, Mr. Evans. You know, you want to slow it down during the holidays. I said, hey man, I appreciate you, man. I do apologize for speeding because I know you got a quota to meet, you know, during the holidays. But you know, I just try to make sure I pay this bill.
Yeah, he looked
So I
back though.
can, you know. So it kind of got me thinking. Like, did he let me go because I was on my way to take care of a debt that is pretty, you know, commendable for somebody to,
trying to take care of your business.
you know what I mean? Or did he give me a warning on it because he realized that I was a business owner and I wasn't doing anything? You know, I know he ran my tag, you know. So I don't know. What do you think? Why did he give me a warning? Because the last time I was speeding, I told you I was going like 75 in a 35, and it was like right around the time of George Floyd and everything. And I was like right down the street from my house, and that guy gave me a warning too. So I ain't getting pulled over because I'm being harassed. Obviously, I'm speeding, and I know I'm speeding. But why do you think the guy let me go, man?
It's a little bit of both, you know. I mean, you were honest in your reason of why you were speeding, and he was able to observe that. You know, you weren't trying to BS him or anything. And also, you know, the business also caused his attention, so, you know, it's kind of like a little...
He took a chance with me, though.
Yeah, he did take a chance, but, you know, you were honest in what you were doing, you know? You weren't... It's not like you were trying to be sly or anything, you know. That's,
None at all. So, I mean, it kind of made me think that, you know, and I'm not no special person. Like I said, I told you exactly what happened, and that's all it was. But I was honest about what I did, and I apologized to him for, you know, for speeding and everything. But that's like my third encounter with the police where I didn't get a ticket. I'm thankful, I'm grateful, but I think about, in my mind, you make a decision to do something, you have to think about how it could go bad either way.
Yeah. You always got to look at both ends.
I wonder if these guys who, you know, these people who, you know, who get jammed up, you know, I wonder what they thought before it happened.
I think I can't say all situations, but I would say probably in the majority of those situations it's because they always lean towards the worst that can happen, and they kind of base their actions and their emotions off that instead of looking at the other side. Because the human body, we're full of emotions. Like we're very free people in the sense that we express ourselves. We got our heart that thinks one way, we got our mind that thinks another way, and sometimes our body reacts, according to what our mind might be thinking. So if you're going to assume the worst and your actions are going to be based off you assuming the worst thing that can happen, well, more than likely it's
your reaction is
going to
be you're
going to walk down that path anyways.
Because it's already there. You've already mapped it out.
It's like you put it into motion without
You've already mapped it out. You've already said
I had about 30 seconds, more, maybe 30, 45 seconds to make a decision before I actually.
Yeah, but see, they choose to stick with that one side. They choose to map that one path. They don't.
You got some people that can only see small anyway.
Yeah.
They can't think bigger picture. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small mind, and that goes for everything. People think small. People don't think, okay, well, if I react this way, then in turn I can get in a lot of trouble. Well, now I'm already in trouble anyway, so I'm gonna turn up. Nah, bro, that's not the way. Because if you turn up, what if that cop was having a good day? I've been stopped before, and the cop literally told me, "Go ahead, about your way," and I had an open container in my car, and he told me to put it in my trunk. He didn't even tell me to pour it out. He said, "Put it in your trunk." And I had bad tags.
Wow, that was.
And that was favor.
I call it favor all the way, baby. Because
my tags was. I'm talking about I'm not just bad tags, fictitious tags.
Wow.
Like I had a tag guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm riding around with these old tags, and I get pulled over.
Sometimes they're just not looking for you. They look. They. If you. In the words of Martin Lawrence, he was like, "Should y'all be out looking for the other glove?" Or in the words of Denzel Washington, you let the little ones go so you can get the big ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as a man, though, you have to make decisions that's going to lead you back to your family.
Yeah.
When these guys get hot-headed with the police and go talking crazy, they're not thinking about their family in that moment. They're thinking about their self. I'm being disrespected. I gotta let this police know he can't pump me, and I don't care nothing about all that. When it comes down, if you doing something wrong,
it ain't chess. It ain't checkers.
It's got to be always chess. You know what I mean? Because checkers is a kiddie game.
Denzel said that too.
It's always got to be chess. You know what I mean? So you have to always make the decision 3 steps ahead. Like, how is this going to affect 3 steps ahead? Like, me being disrespected right now,
and then me turning up about it.
I can respond to it. I can respond to it in a different manner, or I can act a fool and end up on the news. I choose not to be on the news. I choose not to be a statistic. I choose not to have my kids or my family, worried about me and whether or not I'm coming home at night. I choose not to have to think about, the lightest, the other side of what could happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not taking nothing away from anybody who has had to have that conversation with themselves, or anybody who has had to find themselves on the wrong side of the law. I don't take nothing away from it. I just know in my moment, I normally would get nervous when I get stopped by the police. But in that moment, I wasn't even nervous. I was confident that I was doing something that was going to. I want to just make sure that I'm not coming across wrong. But in that moment, I knew that I was going to be okay. Because I really had a mission, and then my mission was, and after I paid that bill, it was like, okay, now what we doing? You know what I mean? So,
and you were okay with the outcome, whether if it was going to be, because you said it yourself, I'm going to go take care of this bill, and you told the cop, I'm all yours when I come back.
Yes.
So that's basically you accepting that it can go. You're hoping for the best, but it could go.
I was expecting to get a ticket.
Yeah, it could go.
I was ready to receive my ticket.
And that's good because you were ready to accept that. You know, it's not like.
But think about if my license was suspended, if I didn't have insurance on my car, if my tax was bad. Would I really be willing to accept a ticket, or would I just be trying to say something to get out? Cops know when you're nervous and trying to throw them off on something like, yeah, this sugar don't sound cute. You know, let me see that license. See if you know what I mean. So I was willing to accept the ticket if I had to get a ticket. So it was one of those things. I was ready for it, and it didn't happen. So I felt like that was God giving me His sign that everything was, you know, He still had His hands on me. That I'm still favoring Your son because. You know, I want you to be able to do these things and not have to be worried about stuff. So I thank God for favor. You know what I mean? I thank God for favor. And that was an awesome start to the new year because, you know, I ain't got to go to court. You know, I ain't got to miss no appointments to go to court. So I'm happy about that. So, I don't know. I thought it was good that I tell that story because that was something that I really, you know, as significant as we continue to go through this process of, you know, of who lives matter the most. You know what I'm saying? Those stories makes it relevant when you say maybe it's the approach of some of these people that they get. I don't know.
A lot of people react in defense. I mean, if you coming at me like, hey, and I'm, ooh, but if you think about a pilot, right? If a pilot hop on we're going through some turbulence, and it's looking the whole panic, everybody's going to panic. Everybody on the plane. When they get there, hey guys, we're going through a little turbulence. It's getting a little rough here. The plane could be going down, but they're calm. Gotta be.
So in that moment, it goes back to what I said earlier. You become a thermostat or a thermometer.
Became a thermostat in that situation.
I was able, if he was having a bad day, I was able to calm him down because I'm saying, look, I just got to pay this bill, brother, and I'm all yours. And he probably said, this is going to be an easy ticket for me.
And then another thing too, you don't know how when he seen how just your react, you coming back out, how calm you was, and it was like, look, bro, I'm just giving him a minute. I gotta go take care of this bill. The guy before him might have gave him a hard time. He might have been having a horrible day. You could have changed it, so you can't, say what was the cause of him not giving, because it could have been emotion where he just was like, yo, dang, that dude just changed my whole.
But I know he was confused. He was like, okay, yeah, sure, go pay your bill, and maybe if he called it in. I'm pretty sure he called it in. I don't know if did they call it in before they stopped?
Yeah, they called it in.
Yeah. They got to report it to the operator.
So I wonder how that conversation went when he said,
he'll be back
with a warning, or I don't know. I don't know how that conversation went, but I'm glad that he was able to see better than what Yeah, so that was a good experience. I guess it was if I had to say dealing with the police and had a good experience, I would say that was a good experience.
Yeah.
So I mean, all police ain't bad.
Yeah, positives.
All police ain't bad, man. Some of them just have bad days, and some of them have bad things happen to them. I would not want to be the police that has to be on the other side of the ticket where he was trained to do something in self-defense, and the day that he was trained is the day that somebody dies, and he's like, I got to go back and face my family. I got to go and check I got to go reevaluate my whole life and say, what am I doing, or maybe I was trained wrong or whatever. I don't want to be that cop, be that guy, But things like that happen. But
real life.
Going into this new year, man. A lot of positive things is going to be happening. We're still on the verge of launching the Lions Pride fragrance of the Alpha product. My partnership with J-Lock. He has the store up now. I'm gonna be going to visit him probably this weekend to check on the status of that, the progress of that. And then we are a couple of weeks away from getting the launch form for the cafe. Walk us through what that's going to look like in a couple of weeks. Walk us through that soft launch, or how you want to do that.
Well, I haven't publicly announced it yet, but the official date we'll say is January 31st. It's a Monday. Right now, in the process of waiting for the delivery of our 12 gaming stations, and with our LED desks, gaming chairs, and our server, which is going to run all the software and the updates and the licensing and all that for the games. So right now, that's what we're working on. What I'm working on, before that comes. Right now, it's just focused on the website, doing some marketing, doing kind of community awareness, sort of, reminding the neighborhood every couple weeks that, hey, this is the progress, we're almost here, we're opening.
Have you done any advertising yet?
Yeah, I've done marketing, through.
We need to get a video commercial done so it can be posted in with your logo, on it, and we need to get that done before the end of the month, so it can have some content, so we can get that done.
Yeah, and it's this is kind of like prime time right now. It's 4 weeks. Well, less than 4 weeks now. Well, we'll say 4 weeks.
Shoot,
4 weeks to go.
Less than 4 weeks. You got 3 weeks, brother.
3 weeks to go.
Yeah.
So finalizing all the details with my tech partner this weekend. The day that he's going to drop everything off. And just.
You excited or what? You nervous or what?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's, you have to feel, you have to accept all the emotions that come to you. You can't be, oh no, I'm not nervous. I'm just happy and excited. No, I mean, you're a human being. You're gonna be excited. You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna feel all these things, especially when you're, traveling a new path in your life, per se. You're taking a new venture. It's okay to feel all these things.
Are you excited too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Cause I was like, man, this joker, he got ice in his doggone veins, cause he don't even get excited. Like, you just like, man, Cole say, hey, all the way, you go always remain that thermostat, huh?
Yeah.
You don't let nothing get you all excited and stuff. Like, yeah, well, it is what it is,
Well, you'll probably see it on opening day.
On opening day,
you'll see me open up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
see, when you got people in their zone, in their lane, they turn to little kids. Like when I saw you the first time in that camera, you turned to like a little kid with dreads.
You're gonna
this is a joke. He love what he do.
Yeah, you're gonna see me talking. You see like here, over there. You're gonna see me all over the place.
Yeah.
But
it's that poker face. That's what it is.
Yeah,
poker face. That poker face.
Play poker? No.
No.
Yeah.
But I hold a pretty good poker face.
Yeah. I call him, his nickname is K-Love. Instead of Caleb, K-Love. Because he always got that,
smooth.
Even kilter, you know what I'm saying? Don't get too excited. And his response is always, choose love. It's love is the answer. Love is the answer, right?
Love suppresses all.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so just it's hard to put in words, all these changes that are happening, and
well, I will tell you this, man. Too much is given, much is required. The moment you start asking God to open up doors in your life, you have to be willing to receive it. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My man right here is starting to understand some of that, because the floodgates is going to be opened up in his life, and 22 is going to be the year.
Yeah.
So you should have built your ark last year. You build the ark before the rain. You don't wait till it start raining and start building ark. It's too late. I'm trying to tell you. You build the ark before it rained. You know what I mean?
That's what happened to the world before it started flooding.
Everybody
started believing right when that rain started falling.
But see, you build an art during a time where people. The pandemic taught us about building an art. If you pay attention to it. Because you built the art during a time where the lumber was at sky high prices. And nobody is looking to build the art because the wood is too high. So they laughing at you like, why are you building an art right now when it ain't raining and the wood is got doggone 3 times more expensive than it is normally. And so you still building your art. Let me sacrifice to get this wood because I know I need this art.
Yeah.
And so you start building the art. Art also translates into acts of random kindness. Just start sowing the seeds. Just start doing the things right, building an art. But you're doing it in a time when nobody is expecting it. Nobody is expecting you to be doing acts of random kindness when the pandemic, because you don't even know if people are smiling underneath that mask. They could be mean mugging you the whole goddamn time. So now you got to read their eyes and stuff. So you're building an art in the time where nobody's building arts right now. And now here comes the flood. Well, it ain't flooding yet. It just started drizzling a couple days ago. And you like, oh man, this little drizzle. You like, oh man, I've been real busy lately, man. This is the drizzle right now. You ready for the drizzle because the drizzle is gonna let you know how much wet gear do you need, how much equipment you need. Okay, and so the drizzle is this also. He got 1 foot in the job and 1 foot out the job. I told him before that. How do you know when it's time to become full-time entrepreneurship? When your job becomes a burden to you. When your job becomes a burden, that's when you know it's time to be full-time. He was explaining to me about how, him and his wife done got increased business over the last few weeks. And now it's a burden for him to go to work because he's missing out on other money when he can be full-time. So, this is my thing. When your business out earns your job, and when you lose money by going to work, that's the time it's time to cut the cord and go full time. Because the arc is already is almost final. You putting the final touches on the arc, and you get that little first drizzle of rain. You're like, oh, okay. Now I see where we going with this equipment and everything. Now, this next season of your life is going to be preparing to launch your arc. So you got to be real strategic. These next season now, it's chess. This next season is going to be how you main, because when the flood comes.
It's not smooth sailing.
It's not.
Nah, it ain't.
And then you got to understand that when the flood here, how long is it going to last? Is it going to dry up after a season, or is it going to be, because they was on the ark for a long time, even after the flood. They had to send a dove out every. They had to send a dove out every day to see if he can find dry land. And every day he would come back empty-handed, and he would keep sending them out, and he keep coming. So it was flooded for a long doggone time. So you just have to be very strategic in 2022 on how you launch the ark, so you can have enough to sustain for the duration of the flood, and not just for the storm, but after the storm and the flood. You got 2 businesses wrapped up in one. You really got 3 businesses wrapped up in one. So when you make that decision to pull the plug on the job, be ready to accept full responsibility for this flood, because much is given, much is required. You can't pray for rain and then ask God to slow it down.
It's too much.
Hey, you asked me for rain. You didn't say how much rain. You said you needed the rain.
I gave you the rain.
Here come the rain. So that's my advice to you this year, brother, for you to get ready for it, and make sure that you remain the thermostat instead of the thermometer. My man right here, my advice to you is just to embrace it And it's okay to show some emotion sometimes. It's okay to show some frustration sometimes, because that's how people relate to you as being human. Because in the world of business, lack of emotion, you know, it may be related to a little bit different than dealing with a relationship. It's just a different thing in business. But I think you're gonna do good. I'm super proud of you to see this thing become a conversation, to actually see it happening, and so I'm just blessed to be a part of it. You know, I just can't wait to get everything to see everything in full. But get with my man right here on getting you a commercial or something shot and getting your photos and stuff done, so you can have that, you know, that social media presence, so they'll know that you're ready to launch this thing. So this is your arc. You get ready to launch your arc when it rains. So you get ready for it, because you know
It's coming.
You be ready for it, and don't slow down. Just pick up the pace, baby. 2022 is here, and we here to take this thing to the next level. You know, brothers need to stick together. We can make it through whatever. You know what I'm saying?
This is damn right there.
You're gonna start singing now?
Hey man, I have to use reference of that song, man. Returning Cubs into lines inside the den, baby. We gotta get it done, baby. This is the year for it to happen, man.
Good.
And so I need to get you on you know, on another level, and be prepared to make an emergency trip to Daytona Beach from the 7th to the 10th of February. You know, I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm about 75% that I need you there, so we can create our own footage within the footage.
Yeah.
Because PHP do a lot of big things, but they got their own.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and grab me a GoPro before we do that.
Yeah, I want to be able to get some footage within the footage, you know, so we can get people on another level. So you know, so I mean, that's where we are this year. That's where we headed. So hey, that's our show for today. Inside the Den. We are actually getting out of the holiday season, going into our live shows again. So this was definitely a good time with these guys here. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Follow us on YouTube, Inside the Den. I'm on Inside the Den on Twitch. I'm on Facebook Live, Inside the Den.
We back live Saturday, January 15th, next Saturday.
January 15th, we back live again, and a special guest is going to be Tommy Hicks at 4 p.m. And we look forward to getting back live again, because I miss you all live. I miss the comments, I miss all the stuff right now, but it's all good.
Hey, stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Yeah. I'm a lion and ain't nothing but anything. We on fire and my brothers, they on fire too. And we'll fight for each other, that's what lions do. Progression of the team is the purpose of our devotion. You can see that we've been working and really having some motion. None of it was given, you know that we had to hustle. And that's just how it is when you coming up out the struggle. They say it takes a village when you raising a child, and they all turn into your family after a while. We gotta feed into each other, show love to one another. Not a race, but I know we can all finish the mile. When we step up in the den, you letting go of your past. You the only person that can really hold yourself back. The pride and strength of a lion is truly a match. Everybody has it when you a part of the pack. Now this ain't the type of place that'll judge you for who you are. We just get you on your way to becoming a superstar. I told you once before and I can tell you again, come and join the brotherhood if you really just trying to win. What's up? Brothers need to stick together. As a team we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel. Just tell me if it's real. Brothers need to stick together. As a team we can make it wherever. Just tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Just tell me if it's real.
I introduce myself?